Daniel Jones has improved a lot this year. His pocket presence, he's took better care of the football, he's been more mature. We've seen his mobility, and we've also seen his ability to extend plays on full display. You can call him a system quarterback, but he's winning games. And beyond that, the Giants' offense is flowing with him. They've done a very good job to close games. He has the lead in the NFL for game-winning drives. So he's been clutch in the fourth quarter. He's been able to help his team win games and sustain drives with his legs and his arm. Pretty unique skill set. You can maybe call him a dual threat quarterback. Is Daniel Jones a franchise guy?
Is he a franchise quarterback?
Was he developing into one?
Is he developing into
Is he
one?
developing into a franchise quarterback?
Still young. So
No, no, he's not developing into a franchise quarterback. I mean, if you think my opinions on Tua are low, I mean, I don't know what you think my opinions on Daniel Jones are. Uh, yeah, no. I mean, I'm sorry. Again, I don't get caught up in the okay, he's having a good season with a very good head coach right now, but he's not even having he's not even having a tour type season. Like he's having like okay, it's better than what he's put out, but what he's put out is absolute dog crap.
Who's his receiver number one? Who is it?
Darius Slayton right now.
Who's
Who's
actually
receiver
looked
number
good the
two?
past 3 games. Darius Slayton has actually looked pretty damn good the last 3 games.
Why?
Huh?
Why do you think that is?
Not Daniel Jones, because I literally on last Sunday I saw Darius Slayton take like a 50-something yard screen pass to the freaking house, or a short yardage pass to the house. It wasn't Daniel Jones throwing a deep bomb. All right. Again, I've seen over the past 3 seasons Daniel Jones show really no positive stuff. I don't even know how to put it. He's
He didn't
shown
take a step forward.
Yes, he's taking. I've not seen him really take that step forward. And when he takes a step forward, he trips and falls. I'm sorry, it's just true. But I'm not going to take this one season and go, oh my God, Daniel Jones has had a resurgence. Okay. It's the same thing with Gino. It's the same thing with, again, please. I don't follow the same rules as you guys. I'm sorry, but I don't. I don't live in a world where week by week, day by day, the best or somebody can just change a complete narrative on a whim. I need consistency. Okay. It's kind of like when you make a mistake and you just apologize for it, and then your actions don't follow that. Or maybe you do it, you show it for a first couple of days or a week or a couple weeks, and then you divert back to that same habit. Am I supposed to
Has
like
Daniel
continue?
Jones diverted back to these
We don't
fumbling
know.
issues
We
and
haven't
lack of
seen him.
consistency?
We haven't seen it. We'll see if he's
But Brandon, we're just seeing Daniel Jones with a real head coach. And yeah, he's not having a Tua type season. Part of that's because Tua has two awesome receivers, a good tight end, and he's in a great
okay.
offense.
Wait,
And Tua's
let's get down
maximized
to the
that.
bottom. Let's get back down to the bottom. Franchise quarterback. Okay, how many franchise quarterbacks are in the league? Let's count them off. How many franchise quarterbacks? Patrick Mahomes, right? Josh Allen, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford. You guys would still agree with that?
Yeah.
Uh, help me out if you guys got names.
Joe Burrow, 6.
Joe Burrow, Lamar,
7. Yep.
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert,
Thanks.
It's 8.
Russell Wilson, or are we completely off Russell? You don't
In
think
this point,
Russell could have
no.
success if he had a better offense and head coach? I believe he would have a better success. I think he's still a
Put
franchise.
Russell there. Put Russell
Okay,
there.
so that's 9. Who else we got?
Kyler Murray.
Is Kyler a franchise guy?
He's in the bubble for me, kind of like
I
Bubble?
don't, I don't know.
Okay, so we're kind of on the edge with the Kyler. Derek Carr.
No.
No.
he's in the bubble as well.
Bubble
He's
again. Okay, Dak Prescott.
yes.
Okay.
Franchise guy.
So if we're including Russell Wilson, the number is 10. If we're not, it's 9. And that's excluding Kyler. Kyler's leadership
Kirk
is why I don't think
Cousins?
he is.
Yes.
You think Kirk's a
No.
franchise quarterback?
I mean, he
I don't
has
think
been.
Okay, we need to define what is your guys' definition of franchise quarterback. Justin, go first. What's your
My
definition of franchise?
definition of a franchise quarterback, a guy
Yes.
that provides you stability, consistency, and an opportunity to play for a Super Bowl every year.
Okay, John, what's your definition of franchise guy?
A franchise quarterback is one that maximizes the talent around him, and beyond that, when you put the talent around him, can win at the highest levels.
Yes.
Because
Okay.
of
So
him, as one of the leading reasons.
yes, he's got to be the reason. That's what I'm saying. And I don't think Kirk has been the
Okay, so
reason.
if
So I
he's
think
got to be
Kirk is.
the reason, then Kirk's off the list.
Yes,
But what if he's
I
one
don't
of the
think
2
so.
or 3 reasons, not the? If he's one of the leading, I think that still makes him as one. No,
Then
Matthew Stafford, he wasn't the leading reason. It was Cooper Kupp. That was the Super Bowl MVP. It was Calvin Johnson, all-time receiver. But he was the second element of that, or the third was Sean McVay. So, yeah, Stafford was the QB, but it can be multiple elements. If you're one of the main 3 to me, you are a franchise guy.
Okay.
Okay.
And so we don't agree that Kirk Cousins is that.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Kirk is also in that bubble with like a Kyler, Derek Carr.
How about Geno Smith?
No, because again, it's the
Yes.
consistency.
But Geno
No.
did it last year. Geno was pretty good last
Stop
year.
it. Stop
Okay,
it.
okay, so
Stop it.
there's
That's 12
8
games worth of starts, Bust.
So there's 8 so wait, do we agree on Dak Prescott as a franchise guy? John
Low
said
level.
yes.
I think
You're in
he's
the
in the
bubble?
bubble.
Bubble.
This episode is brought to you by our friends at Best Amp. When it comes to sports betting, guys, all of us want to make the most money, want to get the best bang for our buck. And with the Best Amp app, what they'll provide you with is the best odds across the sports betting market. All you have to do is download their completely free app and sign up for any of the variety of sportsbooks out there so that you can give yourself an edge in the game. Be sure to bet like a pro with the Best Amp app. Not only is it free, but it provides so many other perks. Custom betting trackers. If you want to sell any picks, and there's no commission, royalty free. You get the entire cuts. Thank you to Best Amp for supporting our show. And
I
as
think
always,
he's in the bubble.
let's get back
Bubble.
to it.
Okay, I'm a little bit more higher, but I can understand where you, so if we'll just call it even there. So we're about 8 or 9. John, I think, disagrees with Russell Wilson, but me and Justin are saying if he had better talent and a better coach, that he would have success. So we're about 8 or 9 franchise guys.
10
I
if you're
don't-
including Russ. 9 if you're not.
Okay. I don't think Daniel Jones is one of those guys. I don't even think he's in the bubble.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at with him. I don't even think he's on Tua's level. If we want to even get further down, I think he's a
I think that's fair.
bottom 20, bottom 10 quarterback, bottom 12.
I don't get
He's
that.
somewhere in 20 to 20 something range. I don't think he's top 20. I just don't.
Brandon, if you
Because I
can
take
make
Jimmy
me,
Garoppolo over him. I take Jimmy G over him. Gino, it's hard. I would take that one's so hard. I would take Geno Smith over him right now. I'd take I'd take Mac Jones over Daniel Jones. I'd take Tannehill over Jones. I'd take Matt Ryan, Trevor Lawrence. I'd take Jalen Hurts. Hell, I'll take Taylor Heineke over Daniel Jones, bro. I'm a big Taylor guy. I'll take Goff over Daniel Jones.
I wouldn't take Matt Ryan over Daniel Jones.
I would take Matt Ryan. I think Matt Ryan was in a I think his offensive line was really like Matt Ryan's obviously not what he was, but he's still better than Daniel Jones, especially with football IQ and being able to read defense as a high level and pass the ball. Yeah, there's some other guys too. I mean,
Brandon.
Justin Fields, John would probably take over Daniel Jones.
I got a question for you.
We
So-
got to get an answer.
You love Trevor Lawrence, and you think he's going to be a franchise quarterback, right?
Yes.
Where do you think his progress is on that meter so far this season? How far away is he from establishing himself as quite that?
I think by next year he can with Calvin Ridley.
With Calvin Ridley, right?
Yes.
So when you talk about Trevor Lawrence this year and his struggles, what is the main reason why in the red zone and the fourth quarter of games where notice the fourth quarter, as Bill Daniel Jones has been really good, he struggled?
Why Trevor Lawrence has struggled in the red zone? I think it has a multitude of reasons to do with it. I think young quarterback making mistakes. I think not having that number one weapon. None of his receivers are really red zone targets. Maybe Evan Ingram is his best red zone target, and that's really like, oh boy, now we're pushing it. So yeah.
So receiving talent.
Oh man,
right?
dude, my cat just farted. I'm sorry. Oh God, that stinks. Well, oh. Go ahead, John. Sorry.
That's what it is. So
ahead.
Trevor Lawrence, I think the cat's tired of the Trevor Lawrence disrespect, Brandon, because
I think he's
you're saying
listenable.
Trevor Lawrence has struggled in some of these areas because he doesn't have that go-to guy. You look at
Mhm.
Patrick Mahomes, he still has Travis Kelce, one of the greatest tight ends of all time. Juju
Yes.
Smith-Schuster, prayers up to him, he got concussed this last week. Juju, as a number 2, really freaking good. And
Yes.
notice, who did the Chiefs bring in? The Giants' number 1 receiver, the former 20th overall pick, and Kadarius Toney, an amazing talent. So look at what Daniel Jones has in New York. His top 3 receivers this year. Outside of Saquon Barkley, who kind of has carried that offense because he's the only competent weapon Daniel Jones has, and their top 3 receivers, can you even guess them?
It like in receiving yards right now.
Yes.
No, he doesn't play for them anymore.
That's what I'm talking about.
Sterling Shepard doesn't play for them anymore, right?
He's
He's been
injured. He tore his
injured.
ACL.
Okay, he's
Yep.
been injured.
Let me
The
see.
only guy I would know is Darius Slayton, but I don't think he'd be up there because he just came back from an injury a couple games ago. But he's
He is
been
their
very
leading
good.
wide receiver in yards. Second is
He
Richie
is?
James.
Yeah, over the last
Oh.
3-4 weeks. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Second is Richie James, who single-handedly cost them a game versus the Seahawks that they should have won. And
Yes,
last is
I
Sterling
recognize.
Shepard with Daniel
Okay.
Bellinger. Daniel Bellinger is a good tight end, a good young one,
Yes.
but he got injured as well. So
What
Daniel
did-
Jones' top weapons: Kenny
Mhm.
Golladay, AFK;
Yeah.
Kadarius Toney, AFK, and then traded. Sterling Shepard tears his ACL. Daniel
Galladay has
Bellinger,
22
top tight
yards.
end, serious eye injury. Those were his 4 top weapons.
Mhm.
All of them get injured. Then you take it one step further. Darius Slayton on most teams is a 4th receiver, maybe a 5th. On really deep teams like the Chiefs, he might be their 5th receiver. And right now, Darius Slayton is playing really good football. 95 yards in the TD last week. Part of it is him playing well. Another layer of it too is just a matter of opportunity. This Giants offense doesn't have much explosiveness, and in spite of that, Daniel Jones has won more games than a Josh Allen, just as many as a Patrick Mahomes. And you can say it's partially because of the schedule, but at the end of the day, what makes the Giants a very good team is that they're out executing opponents. A big layer is coaching, no doubt about it. But the second element is a quarterback, and Daniel Jones, who had his back against the wall, 5th-year option declined, and what do you know this year? He's played his best football with a real head coach. The first time he's had a real head coach. What do you think is going to happen if he gets number 1 receiver next year, like a Calvin Ridley? What if you put in New York, let's say, I don't know, Deontay Johnson, who can take a simple 5-yard slant into 30 yards down the field? He's a low-end wide receiver, number 1.
I
What if
still
you take it
wouldn't.
a step further with like a Rashad Bateman? Rashad Bateman would be easily the best receiver in New York. He's injured after the season. That's the point I'm getting at here.
Again, I still wouldn't change my narrative on Daniel Jones. I still think there's a bunch of quarterbacks that I would take over him. We've gone down the list. There's a lot of quarterbacks I would take over Daniel Jones. I think if you went down the list, John, I think you'd be shocked over the quarterbacks you would take over Daniel Jones right now.
But
I,
he's
I
just entering
think
his peak.
He's not entering no peak. There's no peak. If this is him peaking, dear God, you're in trouble.
no,
Okay?
Brandon, I definitely get what you're saying. I understand both arguments here. I mean, Daniel Jones right now, I think he has 8 passing touchdowns to 2 rushing touchdowns. He has almost 400 yards rushing. Saquon's calling him now Vanilla Vic. The guy's run the guy's running, but I think Brandon, I'd ask you to just ease up on him a little bit because the facts are he really hasn't had a receiver. He hasn't at all. I mean, Darius Slayton, and I won't say disrespectful because I don't think he's a number 5 receiver on other teams. I think his first 2 seasons, I think he had over 700 yards in his rookie season. He caught 8 touchdowns just because he's a good receiver. He can play. I think it's been poor coaching is the reason why he hasn't been able to get out there. Now this season he's finally breaking out, but he shouldn't be a number 1. And Saquon Barkley shouldn't be number 2 in receiving on your team. Richie James should not be your number 2 receiver. And Sterling Shepard has been out for a couple of weeks now, and he still ranks 4th on your team in receiving yards. Kenny Galladay has been an absolute ghost, has 22 receiving yards on the season. I saw him drop a wide open drag route in their last game. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy's hitting really low. So I'd say just take it easy on the guy because remember, Saquon hasn't always been healthy since he's been there as well. I think we're seeing that he can be a better quarterback, and he's playing a lot better. This past week when he was on the field, hold on, I just had the stat right now, and of course it disappears. Okay, Daniel Jones had a 153.3 passer rating versus the Texans. Albeit, yes, it's the Texans. That is the highest passer rating in a single game in the NFL this season. this season. It's a Daniel Jones game. He threw the ball well. He's looking better throwing the football. He's moving out of the pocket. He's playing smart. He's making throws on the run. He's not throwing interceptions. He's not fumbling the football either. So I'm not going to say, yes, he's a franchise guy, but I think he's turning himself into a quarterback where if there are no, you know, big hits in the draft that you really want to go get, I think the Giants can say with confidence, okay, we could go into next year with Daniel Jones.
No
Okay.
doubt. I think we're going to talk about this when we have JQ on the show. I want to save it for when JQ, you get on here. I know he's listening right now. Now, talking about Daniel Jones, BCAP, I'm asking 2 questions. Do you think a franchise quarterback, the definition of it should be someone that maximizes the talent around him and can get the most out of maybe a limited personnel?
Yeah.
But is Daniel Jones accomplishing that very feat right now?
No.
He's not.
No.
The second question is,
Because
has Daniel Jones not gotten better? Are you saying that he hasn't improved? Because in my opinion, he has in each of the last 2 years.
I mean, yes, from what he has been, but it's not saying a lot.